So what I do in the last class is we usually just go through everything we have done over the last 10 weeks. So those of you who are just joining us today, just join in as much as you are able. But I'll try to do things slowly, but it's not going to be as if I'm teaching you for the first time. I'd like to use our last class just to kind of relax and just go over all the moves that we have done without a lot of pressure and really without a lot of talking. But what I will do is I'll lead you through it, and you just follow along as much as you can. They're very simple moves, but it can be very confusing at times if you're doing it for the first time. But know that if you come to a class, as we start next September, we'll start right from the very beginning and lead you through a step-by-step process. But today you'll just get a kind of a general feel for the Tai Chi, and you'll probably notice how simple it is, really. Although some of the moves, will be confusing for you when you're doing them for the first time. Okay. I'm going to mute everybody. So as I said, those of you who are here for the first time, just follow along as far as you are comfortable in doing. You can just observe as well, whatever you're comfortable with. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through everything that we have done over the last 10 weeks. So you will get a good idea, right, of what the Tai Chi and Qigong is all about. We're going to be doing some of our moves. It's going to be standing up and some sitting down, but each person is always able to sit down or stand up at any time which is most comfortable for them. All right, starting off. Our feet are shoulder width apart. Three points of focus. Focusing on our body. Softening our knees. Relaxing our shoulders, dropping them down. Tucking our chin in a little bit to our head on top of our body. Just getting in touch with our body. Aware of our body. Being aware of any sensation, any pain, any discomfort, any tension. Just being aware of my body right now. Checking in with our breath. Allow yourself to feel the breath as you breathe in. And being aware of the breath as you exhale. Just doing your normal breathing, but this time just being aware of breathing in and breathing out. Turning to our thoughts, our third point of focus. Where are my thoughts now? Can I be right here in this room with my body, with my breath? Letting go of all thoughts about the past, all those things that happened before we came into this room, and all thoughts about the future, what's going to happen after I leave this room. Body, breath, and mind. Excuse me. Our first exercise now is going to be what we call flowing motion. Palms come up. Turn my palms over. Nice breath in. Nice slow exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Bending from side to side. Nice deep breath in. Exhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bringing your arm up over your head. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time on each side. Palms facing down. Nice deep breath in. Closing your fists, pushing your fists together, exhaling, contracting your body. Nice, deep, relaxing breath in. Fists together, pushing your fists together, exhaling, contracting your body, curling up your toes. One more time. Nice, deep, relaxing breath in. Contracting, exhaling. Palms facing up. Turning our palms over. Up to the side. Nice, deep breath in. Exhaling out to the side. One more time. Couple of nice deep breaths in. Do self-massage, massaging the palm of my hand, pressing your thumb into the palm of your hand, pressing the reflex points which are connected to all parts of the body. By massaging my hand, I'm massaging my whole body indirectly. Massaging that point between the thumb and the first finger, the acupuncture point, which activates the immune system. Sliding down each finger and clipping the top of each finger. Other's hand, indirectly massaging my whole body by massaging the reflex points which are associated with different parts of my body. It's called hand reflexology. And look that up on the internet. That point between the thumb and first finger, muscle. Just massaging that muscle. Each finger. Little ear reflexology. Massaging my ear along the outer edge of the ear. The reflex points in my ear are connected to all parts of the body. By massaging my ear, I'm massaging all parts of my body indirectly. Now massaging my body directly, massaging my chest, massaging my shoulder and lower back. There's so much stress is kept. Go as deep as comfortable for you. Other shoulder. We carry so much stress in our shoulder and our neck. It's happening. around the breast. Arm, the arm. And little soft fists, tapping my kidneys, coming down the spine, down to the sacrum. Outside the hips, down the outside of the leg, up the inside. And tapping the liver on the right side of my body. And the pancreas and spleen on the left. And the abdomen. And massaging the digestive tract. Opposite direction. And placing our hands in front of what we call the hara, that point 3 fingers below the navel, where all the energy in my body is stored. Where are you now? Finding that quiet place within ourselves. And closing, bringing our arms up over our head, bringing our feet together. Now we're going to do Tai Chi Easy. Not Tai Chi hard, Tai Chi easy. For you who are here for the first time, may be a little difficult to follow this one, but just do the best you can. And step out to the right. Bring our hands together. We're holding a Tai Chi ball. This ball of energy. Right hand's on top, left hand is on the bottom. Harmonizing yin and yang. As if I'm throwing a frisbee. Right hand comes down and across. Left hand comes down and across. Turning that Tai Chi ball over. Left hand on top. Brush knee. Left hand comes down. Now, right hand, palm is up, Palm facing you, palm down, palm facing up. Hands come together on the other side. We call this brush knee and send chi. Crossing arms. Opening up our arms. Right hand stays outside, left hand comes back. Cutting through to clarity. Bring your arm all the way around. Opening up our arms. Left hand, left arm makes a circle. Right hand comes underneath the elbow, and I slide up the arm. And it's like I'm stroking the tail of a bird. Fingers on wrist, pushing back up, rocking back, rocking forward, and crossing my arms again. Opening up my arms. This time the right hand next to the circle. Left hand underneath the elbow, sliding up the arm. Stroking the phoenix tail. Fingers on wrist, pushing back up. Rocking back, rocking forward. Big circle. Good feet. Opening heart and mind. Shifting weight. Shifting weight. Shifting weight. Good feet. Opening heart and mind. Cloud hand. Right hand makes the first cloud coming across. Looking into the palm of my right hand. Pushing a cloud along the bottom. Top hand down, bottom hand up. Looking into the palm, my left hand. Dragon's head. Dancing with the dragon. Shifting weight. Shifting weight. Shifting weight. Dragon's head. Dancing with the dragon. Grabbing that Tai Chi ball. Place the sun and moon in the sky. Rocking back, rocking forward, grabbing that Tai Chi ball. Place the sun and moon in the sky. Shifting weight, crossing arms, gathering from heaven and earth. One more time, gathering all that energy from the earth, all that energy from the biofield, trees, the plants, the oceans, the rivers, all that energy from the universe, pouring that energy into my body. Closing, bring my feet together, my hands up over my head, gathering all that energy from the universe. So that's called Tai Chi Easy, 9 movements. Now, another thing we did together was cleansing the organs of the body. So we start off by just massaging the organs, the lower body. Opposite direction. Cleansing the meridians in the body. My right hand comes up, down my arm, up the outside of the arm, down the other arm. The meridians carry all the energy throughout the body. Stepping out to the left, down the outside of the leg, up the inside. Palms facing up. Embracing yin and yang. Embracing energy from the heavens and the energy from the earth. Hands facing each other. Palms facing down. Palms facing out. Palms facing down. Palms facing up. Cleansing the lungs. Palms comes towards my heart. Palms facing each other. Palms facing out. Cleansing the heart. Turning to the left. Right hand below, right hand above. Right hand below, left hand above. Palms facing you. Palms down. Palms facing out. Right hand comes over your face, followed by the left, down past your liver. Cleansing the liver. Turning to the left. hand below, right hand above. Palms facing down, palms facing out. Palms facing down, palms facing you. Cleansing the stomach. Now, a little tricky thing. I'm going to make the figure 8 with my pinkies on the ground. Make the figure 8 with my pinkies on the ground. This is cleansing the digestive tract. Cleansing the kidneys, one hand in front, one hand in back, sliding down. Crossing arms. Cleansing the gallbladder. And back to cleansing the meridians. Right hand comes up, down the arm, up the outside. The energy flows through the body along the meridians. We're removing all the blockage of that energy flow. Come back to massaging organs. Opposite direction. Then we did the spiraling dragon. We start off by embracing the moon, the yin energy of the moon. Embracing the sun, the yang energy. Point our fingers in towards the belt channel, that channel that comes right around the waist, carrying the energy. All the energy from the heaven and the earth, and we're pouring that energy to the bottom of my spine. My hands are just flat against my spine, pouring all that energy into that point. Coming back along the belt channel, embracing the moon, embracing the sun, bring that energy all the way down to my toes, pulling up that energy from the earth, up my legs, creating a lotus flower right at the third eye, gathering all that energy from the heaven. Spiraling dragon, opening up my arms, gathering all that energy from the heavens, pouring that energy into the top of my crown. Opening up my palms again, gathering some more of that energy. Pouring that energy into my body. Down my toes, up the inside. Gathering. Embracing the moon. Turning to the right. Left hand up in front. Right hand facing down, right? Gathering that energy from the earth with the right hand. Gathering all that energy from the universe with the left hand. Turning to the other side. Right hand in front. Left hand palm down. Gathering the energy from the universe and from the earth. Bringing that energy into my body. One more time on the other side. And once more on the left side. Coming back to the center, embracing the universe once more. Massaging. Opposite direction. Couple of nice deep breaths. Where are you now? Closing, bring our feet together. So this is a more involved movement now. For those of you who are visiting, I wouldn't expect you to do this, but we did the 9 movements of Tai Chi at the very beginning, and we're going to do that what we call Tai Chi Easy Flopping. We'll get to some very little steps with that. We just kind of step out, rock forward, rock back, and then step up. Maybe step out, rock forward, rock back, step up. So all my body's facing this way. Maybe a step out again. That's the kind of movement we do. But just watch it. Take a look at it. Kind of fun. It's a very small step. And the 9 movements we did earlier, we're going to do that with this movement. Out, rock forward, rock back, rock forward, step up. Harmonizing yin and yang. Step up. Turn the Tai Chi ball over, brush knee. Shen Chi. Rock back, rock forward, step up, brush knee. Shen Chi. This is a little different. Cutting through to clarity. Opening up my arms. Left hand a circle. Big circle. Good big step over. Opening heart and mind, step out. Shift weight. Shift weight. Shift weight, step over. Opening heart and mind. Shift weight. Cloud hands. First cloud. Thumbs across. Looking into the palm. Right hand. Pushing a cloud along the bottom. Turning at the waist. Dragon's head. Step over. Dancing with the dragon. Step out. Dragon's head. Step over. Dancing with the dragon. Grab that Tai Chi Ball. Step over. Place the sun and moon in the sky. Step up. Grab that Tai Chi Ball. Cross arms. Gathering from heaven and earth. Once more. Bring your feet together. So I'm not sadistic. Okay, we can sit down for our last one. This is 10 phases of Chi cultivation. Our favorite practice. Discovering Chi. Be aware of any sensation. Gathering from heaven and earth. Turning slightly to the right. Circulating Chi out to my fingertips. Down my arms, back into my torso. Down my leg into my toes. Back up my leg into my torso. Circulating the Chi. Turn slightly to the left. Down my arms into my fingertips. Breaking up any blockage of energy flow. Purifying Chi out to the side. Above. In front. Below. I like to think of this as pushing away the walls I build around myself. Letting go all those thoughts, all those things we were told that we no longer need to entertain, letting them all go. Pushing away negativity in my life. And letting go of anything else I no longer need to hang on to. Directing the flow of energy in my body. Over the top of my head, down the back of my head, underneath my arms, down my back, over my hips, down the outside of my leg, around my toes, up the inside, down my arm. Directing that flow of energy in my body, breaking up any blockage of energy flow. Turn my head in front of my Chi, down the other arm, up the outside, crossing my arms over the top of my head, down my back, over my kidneys. Opening up my arms. Left hand makes the first cloud. Looking into the palm of my left hand, pushing a cloud along the bottom with my right, turning at the waist. Top hand down, bottom hand up, looking into the palm of my right hand. Conserving Chi, sitting on the mountaintop, watching the clouds go by. Doing nothing. Crossing arms. Dipping my fingers down into the earth, gathering all that energy from the earth, from the biofield, the oceans and rivers and plants and trees, and from the universe, the sun and the moon and the planets and the stars, pouring that energy into my body and storing it in the hara, that point 3 fingers below the navel, where all the energy is stored. Once more, gathering all that energy deliberately with intention and storing that energy in my body for when I need it later on today. Opening up my arms, form that Tai Chi ball, expand that ball, contracting, turn the ball over, slight turn to the right, slight turn to the left, form that Tai Chi ball in front of you, and circle, make a big circle, as if I'm going up the back of my spine, over the top of my head, down the front of my body, circulating the chi, the energy, in what they call the microscopic orbit. Hands in front of your lungs, in front of your heart, dissolving into chi, becoming one with all this energy in my body. I'm like the sun, full of this energy, full of this light. Become one with that light. Letting my hands drop to the front, palms facing out, transmitting chi, offering this chi to the world, allowing people to take whatever they need. I'm just the sun shining my light. No expectations, not trying to fix anything, just sharing that energy with the world. Some people can go in the closet and take none of the sun's light. Sit under a tree and take some of that light. Or lay on the beach and take all of that light. It's up to the person. All the sun does is shine its light, offering this energy to the world. Closing, bringing our arms up over our head, gathering all that energy. Reaching behind, gathering all that energy from behind. And offering that energy to the world. Closing my fist, representative of having the intention to live my life with courage and strength, surrounded with compassion, thanking the universe for this energy. Thank all of you for coming and being with us today. I'll stick around if anyone has any questions at all.
Hi, my name's Paul. I was a few minutes late.
Okay.
I find the particular motions a little bit daunting, but you made it. There were a couple of things that I really liked, like this. I could master. I think. Let's see. Looking at this and moving the thing along. I like that because that was simple, and I could then. I think you switched. Have I got it right? Kind of like that?
Exactly.
Okay. Now that I can see myself doing for 5 minutes. That's simple stuff. The other stuff is harder for me to. Well, I guess that makes sense, right?
Oh, but just because we did it all at once. But in our 10-week class, we teach each thing very simply and spend as much time as we need
I see.
to get used to it. Then we keep going over the same thing for 10 weeks.
And it's the same time Monday at noon for an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what? I'm sorry, I didn't. Yeah. What's your name?
Bill Stevens.
Bill. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
That was nice. I mean, it was a nice variety. Getting the massaging and the ethereal and your descriptions, I think, help. Also, I was very pleased that when you turned to the left, you said turn to the right. That I found very, very helpful because that can be confusing. So yeah. Oh, I guess that's it, Bill. Have people here, any of the people today, taken it before? Is it the sort of thing that people like and take more than once, or depends? I guess, huh?
Anyone who's been here before like to speak up, please do.
I've been taking his class for a couple of years now. I love it. I love it. I really, when in person at Brookdale, and then we went to Zoom during the pandemic, and I still continue. I find it very, very good to help my focus and concentration. And I feel so good and relaxed afterwards too. I enjoy it.
Do you, from year to year or session to session, do you see what might be called progress or proficiency or
so.
it's what it is?
Well, I think you get more focused as time goes on, you know, but Bill makes it very easy as far as I'm concerned. You know, I can follow him, and the things that I couldn't do in the beginning, I'm doing now very easily. So, you know.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to give it a try.
Well, I agree. I think this is probably my 4th or 5th time doing Tai Chi with Bill, and I absolutely love it. I look forward to it every Monday. I missed one time this session because I just got distracted and forgot, and I was so disappointed that I had to wait another week to do it. I will continue to take Tai Chi with Bill as long as he offers it, and look forward to many, many more sessions.
I said it. Go on, Bill.
It's kind of like learning to dance. When you first learn to dance, you're thinking about what foot goes where, and you're listening to the beat of the music, and it's really uncomfortable for a while. But then once you get the steps, then you can really enjoy dancing. And it's the same way with this. Once you get the movements and follow what's being said, then it grows on you and it becomes more and more fun.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
I send them all checks later on, you know.
You send them chi.
Bill, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, and we didn't even have to pay them anything to say that.
Hi, Mary Beth.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Paul. I have to tell you, I probably shouldn't tell you. I was sitting here working, but at one point I was like, wow, I'm feeling really relaxed. And I'm not even participating. But Bill, your voice is always very soothing.
Yes, his voice is very relaxing.
It is.
Definitely.
It is.
Good thing he's not a minister. I'd fall asleep in church.
Mary Beth, just a practical thing. If I just mail a check, am I going to get closed out?
No, Bill's class is exclusively online. I have 97 squares that I can distribute.
Oh, fair enough.
There's room for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
When is registration, Mary? Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. So the email went out last week with the class listing, and you will be getting the hard copy in the mail probably later this week. I think the printer was sending it to the post office today or tomorrow.
Wow.
But you can call in or mail it in. But again, your class is exclusively online, so you're not going to have an issue.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. But I wish you all a wonderful summer. Be safe. And this was recorded. So once we do a little bit of editing, it will be available if everyone wants to practice during the month of August. So you're ready for September.